So, hi everyone, welcome and thank you for being part of the Big Bold Jewish Climate Fest. Together, we're making climate action a central moral issue of the Jewish community. My name is Alana, and I'm here on behalf of Hazon, the Jewish Lab for Sustainability, and we're so excited that you chose to begin your day with us as at Rabbi-Robics or yoga. And I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Sarah for a moment.
Hi everyone. I'm Sarah Pilavin. I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York. I'm thrilled to be representing Hazon as a collaborating partner for the Big Bold Jewish Climate Fest. Hazon is the Jewish Lab for Sustainability. We empower individuals and communities to affect change for a healthier and more sustainable world for all. And I'm really thrilled to turn things over to Rabbi Hanniel Levenson, who is going to lead us in Rabbi-Robics or yoga. Rabbi Levenson.
Thank you and welcome all. So if you have a mat, get onto that mat. If it's carpet, if it's the wood floor, if you're still in bed or you're in a chair, wherever you are that feels most comfortable for you, that's going to be just perfect. Sustainability begins with the body and checking in with our body. Ki adam hu etz hasadeh, because human beings are trees of the field. Today we'll do a gentle stretch and kvetch. So it's important to know that if you're on mute, while yoga is all about linking smooth, fluid breaths with the movement, today we're also going to be letting out anything that is stuck inside of us. So if you're in a place where you can kvetch and moan a lot, please do that. Let that be the cathartic release that you may need. Also, it'll be a gentle yoga flow. So if you are an advanced practitioner and you want to throw in some bigger moves, by all means, have fun with that. And if you are injured or any way, please just listen to your body and take it slow. And I always believe that if there's a posture or a movement that you are not able to do yet, at least maybe close your eyes and imagine yourself doing it, letting the mind teach the body and then the body teach the mind. And it'll be a beautiful feedback loop that we'll be practicing. So we're going to begin as a seed, right, on the ground. So coming to our hands into our knees, we're going to do a baby child's pose, okay? So we'll be moving up and down and moving ourselves around and just see what feels good. So begin to be that wind that moves through the tree of your body and see how each posture is affecting your roots, your limbs, your leaves, and then be playful. Really just be playful with this practice and enjoy just moving and enjoy just breathing fluidly and kvetching a lot. So on my hands and my knees, I'm gonna open up my feet my knees nice and wide, have my big toes touch, and I'm gonna just exhale into that little child's pose, letting my hips move down to my heels and just extending my hands out in front of me, getting a little length. And then if I can, I'm gonna release my forehead to the earth. And I'm gonna take some nice fluid breaths in, checking in with the back of my neck and my upper back. And with every exhale, encouraging my hips towards my heels. And with every inhale, maybe lengthening a little bit more through my fingertips, really imagining the side body, the waist growing here and the hips beginning to release, checking in with our hips and our knees, our shoulders, and the whole body. And then maybe I'll rock my neck and my forehead left to right just a little bit, beginning that sway movement. All the while just breathing in through my nose and out through my nose. Letting out any kind of sigh that feels good for you right now. And then I'm going to walk both my hands closer together so my thumbs touch. And just checking in how that changes the stretch in the backs of my shoulders. And again, maybe even using a little pressure with my hands to encourage my hips down to the earth. Breathing into the upper back, then releasing. Breathing into the lower belly and releasing. Now walk both hands to the right side of the mat. Maybe just take a look up and feel a longer stretch over the left side. And then walk both fingertips to the left side of the mat, longer stretch on the right side, keeping both hips still very parallel. So just the upper body moving to the stretch. And then bring my hands back down. I'm going to bend my elbows and reach for the back of my neck. Stretch and Kvetch with a stiff neck, taking my hands, maybe just checking in with my neck a little bit, massaging the neck. Releasing those hands back down, coming up to hands and knees. Let's open up our wrists and our forearms. Perhaps one of our names is people of the book. So that means sometimes there's a lot of page turning. And so it's good to get the fingers and the wrists loosened up here. So I'm going to turn my fingers to face my knees and I'll lean back just a little bit to see how it feels in my forearms. And then I'm going to turn my fingers the other way, so thumbs, and it's a little bit of an awkward stretch here, but it gets into the wrists in a little bit different capacity. And I'm going to sway. And bring my fingers now facing forward, a few rounds of cat and cow pose. So as I inhale, I look forward and I let my belly sink towards the mat. And as I exhale, tucking my chin to my heart, my pelvis towards my belly button, rounding like a cat, getting into the upper back. Inhaling, heart forward, hips away. And exhaling, tucking in. And just one more time. Inhaling forwards. And exhaling, rounding. And now let it become a little bit more primal. So let the body move a little bit. Now I'm just kind of checking in, and this is a free flow movement in this posture right here, bending my elbows and my wrists and my hips, just seeing where I'm feeling a little tightness. I feel a little tightness in my hips, so I'm gonna just twist into that place a little bit more. And then some small circles over the wrists. Before we put any pressure on the wrists, just moving a little bit of weight bearing onto those wrists in both directions now. Good. Coming back right to center, take the left leg and just lift the left leg up straight behind you. And then bend at that knee, flex that foot, and then lift up a little bit higher. And then take the left knee and maybe have it touch the left elbow if it feels good. And then stretch it back up and away, nice and long, point that toe, and release it down. Inhaling, lifting the right leg up, flexed foot first. Bending at that knee, lifting up a little bit higher, maybe drawing that right knee to the right elbow, checking with the obliques on the side of the body. Floating it back up and away, point that toe nice and high, and release it alongside. So now we might just stay here. We're coming to a plank. If a plank is too much, we can just keep our knees lower to the ground. You see there's the same angle coming down here, whether my feet are up or my knees are down. And I tuck my pelvis underneath me. But if we're in the plank, we're just gonna hold that plank for just one moment. And then we're gonna all lower our knees to the earth, keeping our elbows alongside us, let our heart come in between our hands, and let's come onto our belly. Now that we're on our belly, fingertips along the same length as the shoulders. I'm just going to use my upper back and lift up my upper back just a little bit, squeezing my whole legs together tight, tucking my chin so my neck is long, and then I release back down. Inhaling, lifting the back of the heart up a little bit more, and releasing back down. One more time, inhale, 3. And releasing. Let the arms go nice and long by your side. just look to one side, bend the knees, and just rock left to right with the legs. Checking in with the lower back. Bringing the hands right back. We're going to either come back onto our hands and knees or push up to a plank, whatever feels good to you. And then I'm going to walk my feet towards the center of the mat. And I'm going to come into a squat. Okay, so we're still very much in that place of the seed, right? So the beauty of the seed is that when it cracks, it births into whatever it's going to be. And so we want to just make sure, check in with first our seed potential, right? How am I feeling in the seed? Am I ready to blossom? And if I am ready to blossom, what am I ready to blossom into, right? And that can be different each time we approach our mat, which is always the exciting part of this. I'm going to take both my hands to my left side for a moment, take my right elbow against my left knee for a very gentle twist. Of course, for some of us, there are arm balancings that we can do eventually in this posture, but for right now, just checking in with just loosening. And then to the other side, both hands to the right side of the mat, left elbow on the outside of the right knee, gentle twist. And then I'm going to come back to center, open up my knees a little bit if that feels okay, and just walk my hands forward a little bit and release my neck. And breathe here for a moment. Inhaling, drawing those knees back together. Slowly begin to release the heels to the ground. Step the feet so that they're about hips width apart here. And we're going to keep our knees bent for the moment right now for this first forward fold. And we're just going to hang heavy. It's important here to release the back of the neck, so I'm not looking forward, but I'm really letting everything begin to just drip down. My hamstrings might not be ready to open yet, so I keep them nice and bent, and I'm just beginning to release my lower back, my upper back, and my neck, and hang heavy and maybe sway. Again, make sure you're kvetching nice and loud. You can kvetch in the chat box too. Kvetching is like that seed cracking open too. Come back to forward. Please bring the toes and the heels together and come back down to that squat. And then as I exhale, I'm going to release my heels and straighten my legs. I'm going to bring my hands to my shins or to my quads, just not my knees. And I'm going to look forward. I'm going to get nice and long. And then I'm going to exhale, fall forward again, release the hands, bend the knees, come back down to that squat. You can even practice maybe balancing for one moment here, if you're ready. If not, cool. Place the hands back down, release the heels. Slowly straighten the legs, just wandering for when the hands come off the ground. That's great. Place them on the shins, look forwards. And then exhale, release down. Now bend the knees, but don't go all the way back down, and slowly roll up to a stand, nice and slow. Head and neck, the last things to move, to come up. Just staying right where you are, inhaling, bringing the shoulders up to the ears and opening the heart. Inhaling, shoulders up to the ears, opening the heart. Very much an opportunity to teach our bodies about being open, right? If our body's closed off, our heart can be closed off. The more we can practice our posture of opening, finding strength in this vulnerable place of being open, the more ready we are to be an effective tree in the forest of all humanity. So inhaling, bringing those shoulders up to the ears and opening up and exhaling. And then just switching that, opening the back first and then exhale, rounding forward. Shoulders come up and back and then exhale forward. Good. Checking with your standing posture, okay, the trunk of the body here. Take a look at the feet, have them both facing forwards, right? Little hips width apart. And now just begin to navigate the soles of the feet. So small circles here, leaning forward to the toes, noticing that point before you fall off balance, and then back. And by the way, the only way we can always find our balance is by falling off our balance sometimes. So falling off a balance is a great opportunity to teach ourselves about finding our center. Small circles here. Good. And now, just to get the posture nice and in line here, tucking my hips just a little bit, lifting my shoulders up, tucking my chin just a little bit back, getting a long neck here. And now I'm just going to release my chin to my heart. I'm going to lift my heart into my chin. And then I'm going to let my chin move to my left shoulder. So my right ear is facing towards the earth. And then I'm going to come to the other side, letting my chin move along my chest to meet the right shoulder. And I'm breathing into this space of my neck, left backside. Coming back to center, inhaling, lifting the head up, and just exhaling, looking over my left shoulder, just as far as my neck goes. I'm not pushing my neck at all. I'm keeping my shoulders facing forward, just gentle. And then I let the eyes wander further. And then tilting the right ear up to the sky, stretching the front right side of my neck. Bringing the head gently back to neutral, exhaling, looking over the right shoulder. And then again, left ear up to the sky, stretching the front left side of the neck. And coming back to neutral. Bringing our arms into the mix, inhaling, lifting the arms up nice and high. And just exhaling. Inhaling, letting those branches extend wherever they wish to go, up nice and high. Exhaling, releasing them down. Inhaling them up, interlace the fingers. Release the pointer fingers. And have up nice and high, and then just tick-tock left to right. As my hands move to the left, my hips move to the right, and I extend up through center, up and over to the right, hips move to the left, fingers reach out to the right. Inhaling, reaching up nice and high, up and over. Tick-tocking a few times right here. Letting the breath open you up. Letting the kvetch know where you're feeling that narrow place. Staying right there, just releasing the neck back if it feels okay to you, opening the mouth a little bit, shaking out the jaw. And then inhale and just like a nice deep exhale up to the sky. A nice little form of prayer here. Head comes back to neutral. Release the hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers, thumbs down along the sacrum. Open up the feet a little bit wider. Just again, lift the chest up to the sky. If it's part of your practice to do a forward fold and stretch out your shoulders, you can do that too. If this is enough just as you are right here, perfect. Release the hands. Have the feet come a little bit wider. Bring the hands to the hips and do some nice small circles here with the hips. Not only is it this big, beautiful, bold Jewish climate festival, but also this week's Torah portion, Parshat B'Shalach, moving through the sea. That great birth canal where we become, the narrative teaches us about becoming a people. Right? So there's a renewal moment, a coming together moment. And so both these metaphors, that of each one of us of a tree, who in a big forest, you know, all of our roots deeply interconnected, even though we might be all over the world coming together right now, we have to imagine that our roots down through the mat extend and interconnect with one another. And then at the same time, we enter into this timeless narrative of moving from the narrow place into a place of great expansion. Turn forward to the front of your mat. We'll do a gentle little flow here. Come take a few steps to the front. Inhale, lift the arms up nice and high, palms facing each other. Exhale, forward fold. If it's good to bend your knees, bend your knees. Placing the hands, if you have blocks, you can use blocks. Just go down as far as you can. Knees bent is fine too. Inhaling, coming to a flat back. Plant those hands down. Take a step back either to a plank pose or to your knees, whatever feels good to you. Lower the heart down to the earth. Inhale, slide through, coming up into this baby cobra. And then exhale, move back. If you have a downward facing dog in your practice, come to that downward facing dog. If not, just staying on the hands and knees and moving around, that's fine too. In this downward facing dog, just pedaling out just a little bit, checking in with the Achilles. Fingertips facing forward, equal distribution of weight on both hands, releasing the head down, moving the armpits towards the thighs, hips are the pinnacle, right? This is also a nice little Mount Sinai moment here. Of course, we have mountain pose, but this is also nice, another little mountain. If we're on the journey right now through the wilderness to come to Mount Sinai, well, here's our mountain, right? You know, each one of us was at Mount Sinai at that moment. Each one of us, through our body, creates these postures, entering ourselves back into the text. Inhale, coming to a plank or to your knees is fine. I'm going to take my right foot and step it between my hands and lower my left knee to the ground and point my back toe. Okay, and then I'm just going to rock back and forth here, just checking in. Where's my left hip flexor today? Where's my front right hamstring today? I just want to make sure that my knee doesn't go in front of my ankle line. Okay. I straighten out, I bend. We straighten out and we bend. Okay, I'm gonna keep my knee right over my ankle. If this is where you are, great. If you would like to come and bring your hands to your knee, you may. Having the belly button sucked in, protecting the lower back toe pointed, sitting in to this little opening of the hip. If it feels good to you, you may open up your hands and lift them up nice and high. You can even do a gentle back bend if it feels good to you also. Exhale, release the hands alongside the front right leg and just straighten out that front right leg. First, inhale, get long. Exhale, forward fold, thinking about getting your chin to your shin, your forehead to your big toe. If you want to feel sparks fly, you can even flex that right foot. And then I can hear a kvetch from however far away you might be. Release, rebend, untuck that back toe, step back to that downward facing dog or come back to your knees, whatever feels good to you. And again, pedal it out. Every year back at Mount Sinai, every asana, every flow, every vinyasa, back to this downward facing dog, triangle. Hips are the pinnacle of the pose, hips the place, the seat of the emotion, right here. Rounding my body like a wave, coming to a plank for a moment here. Now imagine that's that reed sea, and then exhale, floating back. Or if you love the ocean and you love the waves, just become a wave right here, right now, rounding, coming to that high plank. And exhale, floating back. I'm gonna take my left foot and step my left foot between my hands and lower my right knee to the ground. Point my right toe. And again, just check in with your body. Where are you feeling it today? Which hip is tighter? Of course, we are not completely even always. One side always tighter than the rest. So always good to be mindful and notice where we are in our practice today. So I'm just moving around, checking in. And then when I feel ready, I'm going to freeze my left knee right over my ankle, not breaking that plane, but directly over. And I'm going to hold here for a moment. And if I'm ready, I'll bring my hands to my knee. I'll lift my belly up again, bring my shoulders right over my hips, place my hands on my left knee, letting myself sink in with every exhale a little bit deeper into the right hip. And if I like, I'm going to open up my hands nice and bright. Exhale, release, straighten out that front left leg. Inhale nice and long, and exhale, forward fold. Again, if you'd like to flex that foot, you can. Going a little bit deeper into this place. Gently rebend that foot and then just untuck that back toe and step forward to the top of the mat into that forward fold, bent legs, bent knees. Interlace the hands on the elbows and hang heavy. Release the hands, roll up slowly. Inhale, shoulders to the ears. Exhale, recenter, realign. Find that axis mundi, that line that moves from the top up to the sky, down through the earth, rooting us down, and have the breath vibrate that dance around that line, that plumb line that we use wherever we go, that we walk along, that line that helps us balance all of our emotions here. Feet together. Inhale, sweep the arms up nice and high. And then exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bent knees or straight knees, whatever feels good for your practice. Inhale, flat back, hands to the shins or to the quads. Get nice and long. And exhale, forward fold. Step back to your knees or to your high plank, whatever feels right to you. If you have a practice of doing a full vinyasa of chaturanga, upward facing dog, you may do that. If not, please continue with up with knees, chest, cobra. Right, chaturanga looks like this, where I stop at a 90-degree angle here, and then I just move, squeezing my hips and my legs together, and I lift up, upward facing dog. And from this place, exhaling back, downward facing dog. And take a few moments to breathe here. Always asking ourselves, what does my body need today? Who do I need to be today? What does my earth need of me today? What is our text teaching us today? Roll like that wave, protecting our oceans in any way we can. First, teaching our body to be like that ocean. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. How do we protect our climate? How do we clean our oceans? First, see and feel the ocean in the body, rolling like a wave, coming back again to that high plank. And then exhaling back one more time, back to that mountain. It's the sea that leads us to the mountain. So we do that wave. We walk through that wave, we become that wave. And then we journey through the wilderness, coming back, always coming back to that mountain, to what does it mean to think like a mountain? And moving those ankles a little bit more. Good. Put between the hands and step the right foot in between the hands. If it's available to you, keep that back foot off the ground. If that's too much, just place that knee back onto the ground, whatever feels good, right? If you're in the middle and you want to get to this place, throw out a kvetch, right? Don't forget, in that journey, even though we're moving from ocean to mountain, children of Israel, don't stop murmuring, don't stop kvetching, right? So the yoga teaches us about our stiff necks and how to get loose. So I'm here in this low kind of runner lunge. I'm gonna tuck my chin and look back at my foot, making sure that my left ankle is right over the ball of my foot and that my right knee is right over my front ankle. And I'm just gonna look forward here, shine my heart forward. And if I can, I'm gonna exhale and straighten my leg. If you're on your knee, you can still just straighten that front leg again. Inhale, come back to that pose, bending in that knee, shining the heart forward, staying on the fingertips. And then exhale, straightening that right leg out, forward fold, and hold. Again, if you want to go a little deeper, flex that front foot so you're on the ball, you're on the heel of the front foot and the ball of the back foot, a little bit of a balancing pose here too. Again, deepening, opening the back of the front right leg. Rebend that right leg. Step that left fingertips a little bit closer to the right hand. Take a nice little twist, lifting the right hand up and reaching up. Keeping the hips rooted down to the ground, just having the heart move and extend. If you like to bind, you can always bind. Wherever you are is perfect. If it's all too much, close your eyes and see yourself doing the pose. And then little by little, release that right hand down to the ground. Plant both hands, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal that out. Lift up that right leg, shake it out if it feels good. Let out a sigh. Sometimes it's important to exaggerate the sighs and the moans and the groans because it'll help to really unlock anything that's maybe a little bit deeper inside. And then we come back to that fluid, inhaling through the nose, linking the postures and the breaths as one. Stepping my left leg now between my hands, coming onto my fingertips, getting a nice alignment with my left knee over my left ankle, tucking my chin so that ball of my back foot is over the heel in line here. Shine my heart forwards, right? If you need to be on the knee, that's perfect also. And then exhale, straighten out that front leg. You can even hear inhale get long again, thinking about the top of the head to the top of the foot. And rebend that leg, shine that heart forwards. And then exhale again, straighten out that leg. Flex that left foot if you like. Right? On the heel of the front foot, ball of the back foot. And on my fingertips. And gently rebend. Step the right fingertips a little bit closer. Lift the left hand up. Take a nice little twist. Keeping that hip down. Twist up. Release that left hand down to the ground. And if you can, step forward, top of the mat, forward fold. Bend the knees, roll up to a stand. Checking in with the hips. Open up your feet as wide as the mat here. Move some circles into this. The metaphor of the tree and the tree pose that we'll come to in a little bit. We think about how the trees make their way and weave throughout the whole narrative of the Torah. Abraham loves to dwell by trees. The children of Israel, right after coming through the sea, stop at a place of terebinths, of trees, of Elim, right? And so we have to imagine ourselves into that text as part of that group, part of those trees. What does it mean to be an ancient tree? What does it mean to protect our trees, right? What does it mean to see us all as one living, breathing community? Everything that breathes. Hips left, hips to the right. Okay, we're going to move into a couple of our warrior poses, but we'll do it from a stand. So come to the top of the mat, place the hands on the hips, shift the weight to the right foot, and just step the left foot back 2 to 3 feet as much as you can. Front right foot facing forwards, back left foot, 45-degree angle. So I'm like this. So you can try that with your hands too, checking in with your back foot. And you want to make sure that the back left pinky toe is rooted into the ground. And once I'm ready, then I'm going to shift my hips to face forward. Coming into this first warrior one, just gently bend in my hips. If it feels hard to get both hips forward, I like to widen the stance a little bit. So move my right foot to the edge of the right side of the mat and the left to the left side. That gives my hips space to move. And then from that space, I move into that warrior one. But first, just bend and straighten. Always checking in first, bending and straightening. If you find the knee moving in front of the ankle line, take a deeper step. Suck that belly in. Bring the shoulders over the hips. Sitting down into that warrior one. Front knee tracking over the big toe and second toe. Holding this warrior one place for a moment. Inhaling, lifting the arms up nice and high. Releasing the shoulders down so the neck is long. I'm not like this, but here. And fingertips are bright. We think about the fingertips. Poteach et yadecha masbicha l'chol charatzon from the Ashrei. We open up our hands. God who opens up the hands, helping sustain all of those in need. Right? So our fingertips, our hands are our ambassadors of our heart. Exhale, release the hands by the hips. And now just moving into warrior two, I'm gonna take my back foot and where it was once at a 45-degree angle, I now bring it to a 90-degree angle. Okay, so I'm perpendicular, front foot facing forward, back foot facing at a 90-degree angle, and now facing you. My hips are facing to the left side of my mat. And now again, I'm gonna sit and straighten. And sit and straighten. Again, checking in with your knee. If it's going too deep, then you want to go a little bit further, but keep it as small as you want. If your feet are 6 inches apart and you're doing this, that's perfect also. Once I found my nice warrior two, checking with my knee, it's not leaning in, it's not leaning out, it's directly over that ankle, extending the hands. And then from that place of extension, looking over the middle finger. Inhale, straighten both legs, reach the hands up to the sky. And exhale back into that warrior two. Inhale, straightening both hands up to the sky. Exhale, back into that warrior two. Hold that warrior two, coming into a peaceful warrior, a surrendering warrior. I flip my palm. I reach for it, recognizing that sometimes the best way to reach for it and to grasp what we want is to let go of it. I release that and I come back into that peaceful warrior. Left hand down alongside my back leg, not placing any pressure, just moving down. And still, even though I've released and I'm surrendering, I'm still leaning into that pose. Back to the warrior two. Straighten both legs. Turn both feet to face forwards. Checking in with the legs, shake them out a little bit. Shake them out, shake them out. Step the feet a little bit closer together, coming into a little bit of a sumo. My toes are facing out, and I'm coming down into a squat. So now we're all in this huddle together, and we're thinking to ourselves, what can we do as a community from wherever we are to help take care of our earth? How can we continue to help Hazon, support Hazon in the beautiful work that they're doing, right? And at the same time, checking with our body, checking with our groins, beginning to open up and lengthen. If you need a deeper stretch here, I come onto my forearms and stretch it out here. So I'm just using gentle pressure to open up the insides of my legs. Look to the right, a little more pressure on the left side. Look to the left, a little bit more pressure on the right side. Back to center, straighten the legs, just let the body hang forward, straight legs. You can keep your knees bent if you need to, or straighten out those feet and just hang heavy here. You can even go wider here if you like. Some people might like to even grab their big toes and draw the tops of their head to the ground. Some people might like to even step on their hands, whatever feels good to you in this posture. If you want something just gentle and easy, just place the hands in between. Let the head, again, let the neck release here. Deep breath in. Slow, fluid breath out. Bend those knees, look forwards. Place your hands on your knees, gently help yourself up. Slowly step those feet together and shake it out. Coming to the other side, I'm gonna come to the top of my mat on the back side so I can still face everybody. Coming into that warrior one posture first. Shifting the weight to my left foot, stepping my right foot back. Again, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, whatever feels good to you. Again, back foot, right angle, front foot facing the front edge of the mat. Again, opening up those feet as much as necessary to give enough space for the hips to move and face forwards. Bringing my hands to my hips, I bend in and I straighten. Bending and straightening. Right, our sages teach us we should be flexible and bendy like a reed and not stubborn and hard like a cedar tree, right? So finding that balance of strength and flexibility. Coming into that first warrior one, make sure that knee directly over the ankle, back right pinky toe rooted into the ground. Shift the hips forward. Inhale, lift the arms up nice and high. Lift the belly button in and up, chin tucked, neck is long, shoulders down, fingers bright. And breathe. If the legs are shaking a little bit, good, they're slowly waking up. They're getting stronger. Finding your roots, rooting down into the ground, fingers lifting up into the sky. And each one of us, a balance of sky and earth with a little water mixed in. Releasing the hands to the hips, moving into that warrior two. My back right foot now comes perpendicular or parallel to the back edge of the mat. My front foot still facing forward, so at a 90-degree angle again. Hands to my hips, and again bend and straighten, and bend and straighten, and bend and straighten. Find where you feel good today in this side warrior two. Hold that posture. Again, check in with that front left knee. Have it right over that ankle. Open up the hands nice and bright. And straighten the front leg and reach up to the sky. And exhale, back warrior two. Looking over the middle left finger. Inhale, straighten up nice and high. And exhale over that middle left finger. And hold. Practicing surrendering in peace and finding strength in it again here in the peaceful warrior. I flip my left palm. I reach for, what is it that I'm grasping for? If I let go of it, will it come to me? I will try that in the warrior, in the peaceful warrior, letting go, lifting my left hand to the sky, showing this whole left front side of me and leaning into it, lifting up. And back to that warrior two. Inhale, straighten that leg. Again, bring both feet forwards. Bring them a little closer, hands to the hips. This time a different stretch for our legs. I'm gonna bend both my legs, bring my hands to the ground. I'm gonna lean into my right leg, and I'm gonna flex my left toe to the sky, get a whole deep stretch along the whole left side of the leg. Left toe face up. Inhaling, move to the other side. Oi yoga. Let that oi out. Feel that oi in the knees, oi in the hips. I'm feeling a whole nice long stretch along the whole inside of my right leg here. And then again, shift sides one more time. This time, perhaps keep that left foot flat on the ground when you do this stretch. So we had it up before, see if we can keep it flat now. Might mean shifting your hands into a different place to support you. This right foot, both feet flat on the ground, different kind of stretch here. And try that on the other side, both feet flat on the ground. If you can only go this far, stop there. Just check in. How far does my body want me to go today? Good. Back to center. Heel toe the feet together slowly. And slowly roll up to a stand. So I'm taking care of my body, I'm taking care of my earth. It begins here. We practice a triangle pose. Hands to the hips. I'm gonna take my right foot and just step it out as far as it feels good to me, okay? It could be 4 feet, it could be 2 feet, it could be as small as this, whatever feels right to you, okay? So I'm gonna step it out 3 or 4 feet. Good. Arms out to the side, nice and wide. And I'm gonna reach my hand up and over. And I'm gonna let my hips move to the back. My fingertips reach forward. And I'm gonna release my right hand down to my shin, to a block, could be to my quad, wherever feels good. My left hand's gonna come up nice and high. Opening up the left side. Practicing your balance, you can look up at that hand. Squeezing both legs, rooting the ground, so we're not sitting into our joints, but we're keeping our legs nice and engaged. Strengthening those legs, inhale, rising back up. My right foot faces the perpendicular to the mat, my left foot goes out. Hands out to the side. I'm going to reach again like I was reaching in that peaceful warrior. And then when I can no longer reach any further, I release my hands down. I place my hand, just not on my knee, my quad, on my ankle, on a block, on the floor, wherever it feels good. Breathing in and letting go. Engaging my legs, slowly coming back up. Both feet face forward, hands to the hips, step together. Let's move into a tree pose. Embodying the Eitz HaChaim, right? That primal tree that we find in the Garden of Eden, that is a fractal through our DNA into our bodies, and that we all come together, and as a symbol of taking care of our earth, we embody that tree in pose. I plant my right foot down. Depending on your balance, this tree can take many different poses. My right foot is rooted. First option is I might just lift up my ankle a little bit, and so I'm on my toes and I stay here. That might be enough. I might even try to cross over a little bit. I might take my foot, if I can balance it, and place it on my calf, just not on my knee. I might like to go even further and bring it all the way up into my quad. Wherever you like. I like it down here for today. And then practicing my balance, finding a space on the ground, about 4 feet in front of us to focus on. Bringing our hands into a prayer. Imagine our breath being the song or the wind that moves through our body, like the wind moves through the tree, the Ruach Elohim that moves through creation, that blows the sea and spreads it apart, that sings the song of the cosmos. We release back down. We shift the weight into the left foot, root down to that left foot, lift up that right foot. Again, option to place it just gently across on our calf, up high, just not on the knee, wherever feels good, place it there. Find that balance. Close your eyes, place your hands in any kind of posture that feels good for you, for your tree. If you fall off balance, perfect, jump back in. Learning about balance, falling to learn about balance. And release. Face the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up nice and high. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bend those knees and come down onto the mat. And let's come into a butterfly. Right. Let's check in with those knees and shake out those legs. Maybe do a little forward fold here on our butterfly. We can interlace our fingers over our feet and place our elbows on our knees and forward fold. Inhale, rise. Straighten out those legs. Let's do a forward fold here. Every time I think about doing these forward folds where I place my hands by my feet, I think about cephalopods, right? These creatures that their hands and their feet, they all extend in the same place. And my favorite one is a nautilus. Nautilus been around for over 500 million years. We need to protect those species. They can teach us something. So again, being that cephalopod in this forward fold here, placing our hands wherever feels good, on our ankles, right by our sides. Maybe we just stay here. Maybe we reach our feet and we get nice and long as we inhale. Maybe we bend our legs too. That's fine. Keep a nice flat back. And then we forward fold. Inhale, get a little bit longer, and exhale, forward folding. One more time, inhale a little bit longer, exhale, releasing the back of the neck. And now just hang heavy here. Breathe into the back, into the spine, into the neck, and get heavier and heavier and heavier. Letting gravity support us and lengthen us. Slowly roll up. So we move slowly onto our backs. I'm going to bend my feet. I'm going to reach my hands out nice and long in front of me, and I'll slowly roll down, rounding my back. No rush. Coming to my back, I place my hands flat on the earth alongside my hips. I bring my feet a little bit closer. Maybe I can tickle my heels with my fingers. My feet are about 6 inches apart. I'm just going to inhale my hips up to the sky, tucking my heart towards my chin, and exhale, roll down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, release. One more time. If you like to do a bridge or a full wheel, whatever is good for you, inhale, lift up the hips, squeezing the backs of the legs up, squeezing the butt, everything, the hips up, letting the face be relaxed. Heart lifts up, squeezing the knees together, holding this place right here, and release back down. Take the right hand, interlace it on the right knee, lengthen the left leg, and stretch. Both shoulders on the ground, face is calm, face is soft, drawing that right knee just a little bit outside the rib cage towards the right shoulder. Place that foot down. Inhale, lift the left leg up, interlace the fingers 2 inches below the knee, hug that knee in, lengthen that right leg. Draw that knee out a little bit to the left and then back in. Again, face calm, both shoulders on the ground, and breathe here. Release that left foot onto the ground. Take that right foot, take the right ankle, place that right ankle, figure 4 on the left knee, and just gently open up that hip. Either letting gravity do it naturally opening or placing gentle pressure on the leg to open slowly. If doing a figure 4 is part of your practice, you may do that also. Release that foot down, switch sides, place that right foot flat on the ground, and then the left foot, right, the ankle right on the right knee, gently letting it open or guiding it. We began as the seed, we grow into that tree, and then we come back down to the ground, the tree releasing its seeds to birth new trees, to grow the forest. So too in our own way, let our practice teach us about sustaining this earth, caring for this earth, and loving this earth. This is a gift. All of us, one family. This is our sanctuary. This is our garden, each and every one of us, part of the family. Each one of us doing our part, beginning right here on our mat. Placing both feet back on the ground, hug both knees in, maybe do a little rock and roll if it feels good to you. And then freeze back up, arms out to the side like a T, and then just do a gentle spinal twist, letting both legs move to the left side, look to the right. Finding that gentle twist. Squeezing both legs up, moving to the other side. Maybe it means shifting the hips just a little bit. Letting both knees descend over to the right, look to the left. Finding that narrow place in the body and breathing into that space. Even if we kvetch into the narrow space, we're just letting ourselves know that there's a point of tension here, and I want to lengthen it and breathe space into it. Maybe it begins with the kvetch, and then it moves into the stretch, and then it becomes a fluid breath. Coming back to neutral, let's move into a final resting pose. Giving our body over to the earth. Imagining our body is the wilderness, right? And then our breath now moves through the mountains, moves through the terrain of the body, just checking in with all the spaces in the body. And we're also the earth, ready for planting. Each one of us a seed of potential to help heal the earth, to help nurture the earth, to help grow in the earth. With every breath, we surrender a little bit more. Each one of us created in the divine image. Each one of us co-creators asked to do our part to help. And so we can ask ourselves, what can I do today to help support a sustainable future for myself, for my body, for my community, for the greater world around? And it just begins with the breath. Deep inhale in. And soft, fluid exhale out. Slowly roll to one side. Give your body a nice little hug. Again, remember the seed that exists inside each and every one of us at all times, ready to be planted, ready to be born, ready to do its part to grow in the garden. Slowly roll up to a seated posture, whatever feels comfortable for you. If you want to stay lying down, you may also. One more deep breath in here together. Releasing. Inhaling. Letting it go. Peace, peace, peace. May the whole world be filled with peace. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings know true happiness. Shalom. Thank you all for playing, for stretching, and I hope kvetching also. And thanks to Hazon for supporting this earth and this beautiful program that they have today. And I hope everyone has a sweet rest of their day, enjoying all the beautiful offerings that Hazon is providing for us. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Hanniel. We started Rabbi-Robics as a way to weave together physical and spiritual exercise, and Wow, that was just such a beautiful weaving together of physical and spiritual exercise while also incorporating Jewish values and learning and sustainability, empowerment and action. And I feel really ready to tackle the day. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
If everyone who's here enjoyed this, we have another way to get your heart racing and heart uplifted. We have a cycling event this Sunday, Cycle for Sustainability. I'm putting the information in the chat. That's this Sunday, the 31st at 9:30 a.m. EST. And to close out, I'm going to turn things over to my colleague, Alana.
Thanks so much. And we want to thank everyone for joining us here this morning on the first full day of the Big Bold Jewish Climate Fest. And up on your screen right now is just some further opportunities for you and your community to take action and add your voice to join us for communal action to help continue to make the world a stronger and more sustainable place for all. And thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you over the course of this week at further events, part of the Big Bold Jewish Climate Fest. Thanks so much and have a fantastic day.